Hello, Pierre.
Hello, Kate. Thanks for your energy.
Yes, thank you for being here, and I'm excited to hear about your work at Casualty Link. And I see your talk here is about leveraging a graph of causal forces acting on financial markets. So really excited to hear about your session.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. So we are going to talk about causal graphs, which is an instantiation of graphs and applied to the financial world. And where we're kind of unique is that these graphs are automatically generated using NLP on millions, 84 million articles arriving in real time, and leveraging collective intelligence as opposed to on knowledge as opposed to collective intelligence on data, which is what people have been doing up to this point. And I really liked what one of your previous authors said, that knowledge is the new oil, and that's what we're leveraging.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I see here, so your company reads 84 million texts in 18 languages and generates a very large knowledge graph that explains the forces acting on the market. So why 18 languages? I mean, most people in the financial markets, I believe, are familiar with English. So wanted to get your motivation behind that.
Well, so as we have seen recently with the coronavirus, things happen at some place in the world and have an instant impact on many other places, and very often they are reported in the local language, whether
Mhm.
it's ESG issues or plants having a problem, and that have a ripple effect across the world. So what we have found is that it is really fascinating to be able to read a global point of view that includes Russian, Chinese, Korean
Mhm.
articles, and it truly has opened my mind on how incredible the world is and how much we miss when we're just listening to one language.
Mhm. Yep, that's a good point. And then I know, so your company's Casualty Link. Can you
No, no,
tell
no,
a
no.
little bit?
It is causality link.
Causality Link. I'm
Casualty,
sorry. I've been talking for a long time, so
casualty is what happens to
yes,
some
causality.
salary, right?
Yes, absolutely. So what are you guys focused on mainly?
So we are trying to build, and this is not very modest, but a model of the world. So we have
A
40,000.
model of the world, not modest at all. Yeah, of course.
So it is very interesting because it works. So basically, you have all the public companies in the world, all the countries in the world, and you're trying to establish all these relationships that exist as they are described by authors. So
Mhm.
you look at what's happening on oil, for example. So there is a very standard relationship that the more demand, the higher the price, the more supply, and the lower the price, right? And
Right.
then usually there is a feedback loop, which is that price, if there is a low price, supply will go down. But because we can't turn off the tap of some of these oil, well, then the supply keeps going, even though the prices keeps going down. So this is fascinating. And this kind of problem happens all over the world across all the KPIs of the different companies, and building a very smart financial research assistant that knows 18 languages, reads everything in real time, and is able to answer questions about chains of causal links that propagate information before the other people have understood it. It's a very useful tool, and it's a very exciting tool.
Yeah, it does sound very, very useful and exciting. And I had a question. So why would a system that's, extracted from thousands of authors be smarter than a few really, really great analysts?
Well, first of all, this is the theory of the collective intelligence, right? So that
Mhm.
lots of people that are not necessarily extreme experts average on data very precisely, much more precisely than two or three experts, right? And this has been proven over and over. What we're trying to prove it is the same thing on knowledge. That is the aggregator knowledge of thousands of authors, and some of them are very smart, uh,
Mhm.
is in fact as powerful, if not more powerful, than the knowledge of very specific experts. And on top of that, our assistant is not trying to outsmart people, he's trying to provide a safety net, basically, in
Mhm.
knowledge, a knowledge safety net on a very, very complex world.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's a great explanation. And anywhere, where can people go to check out more about the work you're doing?
We have produced a website called coronavirus.causality.link.com.
Not causality, guys. Causality.
Yes, that shows the impact, and we produced that at the beginning of February. That shows the impact of the coronavirus on the different industries, and we just introduced a new version of it that I think will give people a very good idea of what they can achieve with this type of technology.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for hopping on and giving us a sneak preview of your talk.
Thanks, Kate.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.